What is up, guys? I'm the Senator, and one thing that has me sort of perplexed about Rainbow Six Siege is the current state of Dokkaebi. And I want to know from you, please comment down below, why don't you play her more often? When looking at how attacking rounds play out in Rainbow Six Siege, you can typically estimate the outcome of the match by how well your roamers do. Of course, this isn't an absolute and anything can really happen, but if the attackers are making their push into site with more than a minute left in the game, they will most likely win. If they've opened up the right walls and created lines of sight, at that point all they have to do is just drone out the defenders and pick them off. However, on the other side, if the attackers are making their push with less than 30 seconds left in the game, the match leans more towards the side of the defenders generally. And so I say all of this to say that how effectively you clear out roamers will have a huge impact on the outcome of the round. An attacking team cannot safely move forward with their attack without dealing with their roamers or putting safeguards to prevent a flank, such as a flank drone, a claymore, or an air jab. And for the most part, people who play Rainbow Six Siege have an understanding of this, and this is why generally when you're playing ranked, you don't rush into sight at the beginning of the round. There are steps to the attack, and one of the most important steps is clearing out the roamers. And so when you look at the Rainbow Six Siege roster, obviously the best roam clearer is Jackal. Not only does he have an amazing primary weapon and amazing secondary shotgun, but arguably one of the best gadgets in the game. He is incredibly strong and really fun to play, so it's understandable as to why he has one of the highest ban rates in ranked. But with that being said, nobody ever considers the second best option, Dokkaebi. And what's so weird about Dokkaebi is that she does the exact same job as Jackal, and some would say that some aspects of her ability are better than Jackal, yet she is rarely played. So, looking at the utility alone, I find it odd that we will always find room in our lineup for Jackal whenever he's available. But whenever Jackal's banned, nobody wants to pick up Dokkaebi. Okay, pausing the video for a second to remind you to hit the like button because that actually helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm, and while you're down there, go ahead and hit subscribe for more R6 content. Anyways, back to the video. When looking at Dokkaebi, the only thing about her that I would consider to be underwhelming is the fact that she doesn't have utility clearing capabilities, and some may not like the fact that she doesn't have an automatic primary, but when you consider the fact that she has a global ability that gives sound cues as to where every defender is, in my opinion, she is one of the more balanced operators. But why is it that I see operators like Ying, Amaru, Blackbeard being played more than an operator that is able to easily snuff out roamers? In some instances, I can understand someone not wanting to bring her if the map doesn't cater to a huge roaming presence, but we can all agree that Jackal is strong because of his ability to track down the roamers, but when it comes to Dokkaebi, we really don't want to pick her because it just takes a little bit more work than, say, a Jackal. But generally, instead, we would rather play a Nomad and just put air jabs out to protect our flanks from roamers, rather than trying to actively find the roamers. And while I love Nomad, don't get me wrong, she has an amazing ability, and there are many maps where I would rather have her over a Dokkaebi. But for me, most of the time, I would rather have an operator like Dokkaebi that allows my team to deal with the roamers within the first minute of the round, rather than droning out an area, seeing that that area is clear, and then putting in an air jab that will protect us from roamers. Because eventually, you will have to deal with that roamer. And I would rather deal with them while they're on their roam within the first minute of the round when I have my 4 teammates and 10 drones, than deal with them later in the round where we may not have those numbers. And I believe that the introduction of Nomad has caused the decline of Dokkaebi, and while her pick rate wasn't insanely high before the introduction of Nomad, it has been steadily decreasing ever since. Before Nomad was introduced, Dokkaebi was picked around the rate of 13% of the time, which isn't amazing but is reasonable, to where now her pick rate hovers at around 4%. And don't take this as me saying that Dokkaebi needs to be picked more than Nomad and she's better than Nomad. That's not what I'm saying at all. They're different operators that have different abilities. But what I am saying is that Nomad has allowed us to become lazier when attacking. Because if you have a Nomad, what is the risk of the roamer falling back? None. They can't flank you if your Nomad knows what they're doing. And so, what am I trying to say? I am trying to say that Dokkaebi is an amazing operator that is not picked nearly as often as she should be. We'll play a Jackal to snuff out the roamers because he is easy to use. However, when Jackal is banned, Do we choose the second best option in order to find roamers? We typically don't. We'll play a Nomad instead, which is not always a bad thing. It sounds like I'm just condemning everyone who plays Nomad. That's not my intention. But we'll see picks like Amaru, Ying, or Blackbeard, which aren't bad picks if you have a strat that involves them. And so from what I have seen, I've made the assumption that for most people, using an operator to clear out roamers is only needed if that operator is easy to use, like Jackal. However, if you have an operator like Dokkaebi that requires some droning and communication to effectively find the roamers, for some reason to us it's not worth it. So, as I stated at the beginning, if you want to be successful on attack, you have to deal with the roamers. The sooner you get rid of them, the sooner you can push forward with your attack. And if you let that roamer delay you for 2 minutes, even if you eventually kill them, it'll be too late. So, if I'm an attacker, I want to get those roamers as soon as possible so we can focus on getting the walls open, clearing utility, and getting that plant down. I feel like if I sat here and said the words, the first step to successfully attacking is clearing out roamers, I would think most people, most of you guys would agree and say, yes, if you're attacking, you must first clear out the roamers. Yet, we're not picking operators designed to do so effectively. But don't walk away from this video thinking that I'm telling you to stop playing Nomad or Ying or Amaru or Blackbeard and just always play Dokkaebi. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you need to think about the utility you're bringing for your team. If it's a roam heavy map, would you benefit more by bringing a Dokkaebi or an Amaru? How well roamers hold off attackers in the first half of the round has a significant impact on the last half. And playing operators that deal with roamers isn't really at the forefront of our priorities right now in this hectic utility meta. And with operators like Melusi that are in play and constantly just are there to soak up utility, it's harder more so now than ever to pick the right lineup. And I can summarize this entire video by just stating this. I'm just observing the fact that we have an underpicked operator that excels in clearing out roamers in a game where how quickly you deal with roamers has a significant impact on the outcome of the game. And so that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like because that helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit subscribe for more Rainbow Six Siege content. Also, if you want to support the channel, check out my affiliate sponsor, Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy creates an energy drink designed for gamers to help improve your focus and increase your reaction time, along with tasting amazing. You can go to their website, I'll put a link down below in the description, and when you go there and use code SENATOR at checkout, you'll get a 10% discount on any purchase. So you get an amazing drink, and it supports my channel. But anyways, thank you for your support. I am the Senator, and as always, have a good one.